So we had quite a red day on these altcoins. We had Bitcoin up, down, but these alts were consistently bleeding lower. Guys, is this the bottom of the move? Is there a short-term bounce coming, or is there more pain on the way? So today we are looking at these altcoins. I've got a couple that are sitting in some hot zones here, ready to go now. Possible bounces happening. I've also got my indicator man in the house, and he's going to tell us what we are looking at going forward. So massive week ahead, massive show coming right now, guys. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. Rainbow Ray is in the house. At some point, he's going to give us the rainbow. Here is Chaos as well, bringing you indicators. Guys, remember, every Monday, we're bringing you indicator vibes. We're going to tee you guys up for the week and show you what is what. So he's locked and loaded. He's calling a couple of reversals. Let's see what's coming. Okay, Banter Bubbles, well, move. This is an airdrop situation going down, and we can deal with that. Let things settle, and then we'll deal with this move situation. But you can see again, after a red day, what happens. Okay, the meme coins. Look at Floki on the right, 7%. Peppy, new all-time highs. Guys, are you still holding Peppy? Fuck me, I'm still holding that thing. We are sending that thing higher, and no reason to stop sending that one. Sui, we've just gone long. It hit our buy zone that I gave you yesterday, the buy zone I gave you Friday, the buy zone I gave you Thursday. It hit that zone about an hour and a half ago, and we are now long at hackers off Sui. So Sui is looking good there for us. And then relatively mixed bag. I think a guy's got chopped up today. Any of the high leverage stuff really felt a little bit of pain there. And in celebration, I'm wearing my wrecked shirt. Look at this thing. This is just in case. You know, keep you guys on your toes here and see where we go. Okay, let's talk BTC and what is what. So I have jumped into a BTC long here on Prime XBT. I've got two zones of interest. Number one is the zone we have just hit right now for BTC. So I'm going to show you that chart in a second. And my current stop is 97,370. And then I've got a zone of interest at 96,300. These are the hot zones that I'm looking at the moment. So I'm currently long on Prime XBT. Let's see if we're going to get these reactions that we want. So let's take a look at the chart and what is going on here. Why was I interested in a long in this current zone? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. And the first one, let's talk about, we've got our 382, we've got our horizontals, we've got our trend, we've also got our VWAP from the lows on the 27th of February, 27th of November. And then on top of that, I've got reversal signs on my oscillator telling me that we may or may not be getting some kind of reversal. Now, the trick with the oscillator is sometimes we need to let divergence play out. If we look at this example here, we had that low in, but then they still sent it down before there was another move. So we need to understand that if we are using the oscillator, sometimes we have to look for those divergences. So if we don't bounce right here, according to this oscillator, we might have a situation where we have to print divergence first. And that is where this new level comes in. So I just want to give you guys the zones of interest. 97,600, that is where we are right now. That type of area, looking for a bounce in that zone there, 97,600. Now, if we do bleed a little bit lower, I do have an order ready, 96,300. I do like that zone. If we do push into that guy, looking for a bounce off that one. So 96,300. And then if we have to push it, now, I'm not prepped for that one, but if we have to push it lower, it's 94,900. So these are the three scalper zones. These are the three degen zones that we are going to be watching for BTC. Now, as we're watching BTC roll over, we need to keep our eyes on these altcoins. So it's very important now at the moment. We can see that BTC has been printing new lows, but a lot of these alts, they've settled into some of their zones now on the 15 minutes, on the 1 hour, and they are busy printing higher lows. So as long as they are printing higher lows, it's telling us they might be getting some energy for a potential move. So we got to keep our eyes on these alts here. And I've got tons of these altcoins lined up for you guys. And a lot of them are showing potential reversals. If it's not happening now on these levels that they are on, we've got the next zones for you guys teed up and ready to go. So make sure you are prepped and locked and loaded. We got an absolute banger coming in for you guys. And just a couple of things happening in the news. DJ News tells us, he says BTC daily weekly closes above 100K for the first time in history. But that was nice. But now, fuck me, we under. Okay, so we got to push this thing straight back up as soon as possible. But that is quite nice. It's relatively pleasing. 100K for the first time in history on the weekly and the daily. So that is lovely. And then those of you might have heard there's some Chinese stimulus going on at the moment. And the last time China changed their monetary stance to moderately loose. I mean, I can't believe they call it that, moderately loose. Okay, it was during the aftermath of the 2008 dumps. Remember that? I mean, that was quite a brutal time. And the Chinese market would rally by triple digits over the following year. Okay, so things are looking pretty hot from the Chinese perspective. Looks like some liquidity could be coming back for us there. And that is obviously ultimately designed to pump our bags. And then let's take a look at the S&P. Well, finally, we've got a red day brewing now on the S&P. So a little bit of a red day on a Monday. But again, this thing just carries on grinding and, nothing to get too emotional about just yet. I'd say when we start getting major sell-offs, I'm talking big percent moves, then we can really start shuffling and starting to figure out what the next game plan is. But you can see here, using my oscillator at the moment, we do have a little bit of divergence forming here. We can see the oscillator is printing lower highs. The price is printing higher highs. It is telling us at some point we can expect some kind of reversal on the S&P. How brutal is that going to be? Well, it's difficult to say, but it is, the signs are there. There's sprinklings of that happening at the moment for us. And then a publicly traded mining company, Riot, they are raising $500 million to buy BTC. I mean, this is just becoming standard practice now all over the place. And we know Michael Saylor bought again some more BTC. This man is not scared. Okay, he bought another 21,000. Fuck me. Hey, another 21,000. Right, he's proper. Another 21,000. He buys it at 98,700. Okay, he doesn't mind. Okay, and this meme from Naive, I just love this. They're like, here's Saylor. Okay, what does he do? He buys the top. Okay, buys the Bitcoin top. Plows straight through this thing, doesn't care. Okay, remember, he was buying the top at 42k. Everybody was laughing at him, saying he was absolutely mental. The man had no idea. They were saying he was crazy, and now look who's laughing. So this man keeps grinding, he keeps going, and he's got no shame. He just pumps on there and keeps grabbing his BTC. And then Vivek telling us $2.3 trillion Amazon just got proposed to assess adding Bitcoin to its treasury as per the shareholders' request. So the stuff's going down, guys. It's all over the place. And you'll remember that tweet I showed you last night. For those that watched the show, we are in that space now where we're getting all that media attention, all that media hype. And this generally tees us up for quite a big move coming forward. Okay, so lots to look forward to. And then quickly, BTC on the 3-day. And again, ideally, we want to see this thing teeing up a little bit higher than where we are at the moment. But right now, we are putting pressure back into this range. So we are facing a 90,100 to an 88K BTC here. That is on the table for us. We need to understand on the 3-day, when we zoom out, that looks pretty reasonable if we do get a move down into those types of zones. And then upside, 113,900, no changes to that current target there for us. So 3-day, when we zoom out, we have to be reasonable. Obviously, we spend a lot of time zooming in to these types of zones and paying attention. But remember, when the shit's hitting the fan, we zoom out, trying to assess where we are. And yes, Ivan, you are 100% right. And I mean, every time, it's like clockwork where he's announced his buy, the market just falls over. It happens every single time. In fact, I can't remember when it doesn't happen in those situations. Okay, so the BTC scalp long, let's see how we go. And I think it's also time to close the BTC scalp short. So we're going to look at a couple of things here in a sec. That's our liquidation heat map, guys. This is a nice tool for you to have. And this is from CoinGlass, the liquidation heat map that is free. So take a look here. I obviously use this as a guide with my existing levels. And you can see downside, there is still a bit of juice here on the downside, down to 97K, even that 96,300. You can see there we do have a little bit of juice in that zone. And then upside, if we do get a hard push, it's just over 100K where we are looking at a potential danger zone for us. Now, Mr. Crypto is talking about this chart that I've been showing you guys for the last while. And he's given us a nice little detail on this thing. And I thought, let's look at it. He's saying the huge altcoin season of 88 days has started now. Now, we've been analyzing this chart for a while. And I mean, the man has got a point. So we've seen, obviously, the situation where the altcoin season pumps into the altcoin season zone. And you can see it looks like it tops out and then it falls over. But if you really dial in and look a little bit closer, this whole move up here, while it sat in that zone, was 88 days. Okay, so the man's got a point. If we float around in this region for 88 days, I think we're going to make a little bit of money here. I think things are going to grind a little bit higher. So let's just go one more time. We'll just hit that bullhorn. And as long as we are staying above 75, then things are cooking for us. And Titan of Crypto, now this guy is obviously an Uber bull, and he bull posts a lot of stuff at the moment, well, all the time, but he's saying it's alt season time, and he says altcoins kicked off their run weeks ago, but the party is far from over. It's just getting started, and he's given you some bull sauce. I mean, this is literally a sprinkling of proper bull sauce for you guys. So you can see his MACD at the bottom as well on the weekly. That thing is churning up as well, and his trend line, he's basically talking 3x or 4x from here, okay, for the altcoin market. So that's relatively bullish, and I think we'd even take a 2x, maybe a 3x, and be quite satisfied with what he's giving us. And then total 3. Now this is our crypto market excluding Bitcoin and ETH. And so far, it is actually playing the game. This is the rejection zone that we are looking at. Now we got our first red day, or our first red couple of days now, and we are pushing back into this 950 billion zone. So we'll watch that as support. Let's see how bad it gets. I'm not saying we have to go down here, but the first reasonable area of support for us on this total 3 is that 950 billion zone. So that is a zone we need to pay attention to. If there is more of a meltdown, that is what we need to watch. That is where we're going to tee up some big longs for us. And then our dominance chart, again, no real changes. And I'd say we are getting saved a little bit today. And you'll note in this recent bounce, we do have dominance rejecting a little bit. This is a weekly candle. So you can see dominance is now pushing down again. So what happened this weekend? We had that nice drop in dominance. All the meme coins started ripping, all these things. Then we had that hard bounce again. That put us under pressure today. Now, as long as we are pushing lower on dominance, these alts should be okay. So if you zoom in, you can look at this thing on the 1 hour chart. And this is always a great guide for you, especially on the lower time frames. If you are trying to snag a couple of entries, you can see we are now trending down on the 1 hour. So this is typically now what we want to see. And this will unleash some of these altcoins off their zones that they are sitting on at the moment. Now, we are expecting a short-term bounce. And this is why Chaos is here as well, to give you some clues. But we've got 1 hour resets. We've got 4 hour resets. And we jumped into a couple of longs on things like WIF. We jumped into, what was the other one? We jumped into Injective. There was a Myro, a couple of others that the hackers crowd got based on these current reversals that we are looking at the moment. So let's jump into some of the things here. Let's talk ETH. And now we know we are getting some kind of pullback here in the market. And I just wanted to update you guys on my ETH trade. Now, remember, I've got a high conviction ETH situation going on here, and I've been waiting for these pullbacks on ETH to really get stuck into this thing and really start adding to the size of the position. So every time ETH prints a new high, I need to adjust my limit orders, my DCA orders, just in case the market starts falling over. Now, we've had our first taste of some kind of pullback in the market with ETH, and I just want to give you my new adjusted limit orders. So I want to buy ETH all the way down. So my limit orders, and I'm going to show you the chart in a minute now, but if you're looking for DCA positions on ETH, they are 3,680, 3,420, 3,260, and 3,050. These are limit orders that I've set on ETH, looking for weakness. Now, I'm not saying it will go all the way down there, but any weakness in the market, I'm looking to add to my higher conviction ETH play. Now, remember, what do we have? Okay, on our daily, we know a lot of these oscillators on the daily are actually looking bearish. They're telling us on the daily time frame they might want to trend lower, whether it's for a week or two, maybe a bit longer, maybe a couple of days. But these things do need to turn over based on what we are looking at. But we do know on the lower time frames, we are looking at potential short-term bounces. So just talking about the higher time frame play here on ETH, and I've just highlighted these levels for you. So remember the drill. As the token moves higher, you start adjusting your fibs higher, and you start looking for confluence, and you look for tie-in, where you get fibs tied in with horizontals and other hot zones and other areas of interest. And you can see why that first hot zone is interesting to me, that 3,600 level. Then we've got the 3,430 zone. Look at that. I got a VWAP coming in here as well. So we know that that's a decent reaction area for us. And then lower down 3,020, absolute banger. We got the 200-day, we've got a VWAP, we've got the 50-day in that area, and we've got horizontal. So we know that all of these zones are high impact hot zones for us. We can't call the bottom, but what we can call is DCA zones, where one of these areas could potentially mark the bottom of a big move to the downside, and then it's up only from there? Well, at least for a period of time. That is what we're going to be looking at. So typically when you get these scenarios, what happens? You get your rejection, then you get your bounces, and it typically bottoms on one of these types of zones. So we're basically just going to hunt that to play out for us. And again, we can't say which one it will be. So that is why I've got limit orders on all of those areas. We don't want to sit in a situation where we are not in the market. So that is why I want to accumulate on all of these zones. And then if we get momentum and the market starts pushing up early, we are already in these positions, then we can start adding, and then we can start really accelerating things. So that is the game plan on ETH. That is typically going to be the game plan on a lot of these other altcoins as well. And chart hackers, guys, I've updated all of my long or higher time frame charts, the daily charts that are there for you in the chart hackers. All these levels are there for you on probably 25, 30 tokens at the moment that you guys can look at. Now let's talk about some fun we had last night. So if you watched the show last night, I told you we were going into our first Hackers private Zoom session that we do for the Hackers members. Me and DJ and David host the Sunday banger session, and we tee up the week and we hunt certain things. And one of the absolute bangers for us was the sushi short that we looked at last night on the Hackers. And this was actually a preset limit order that I set. Okay, so after we looked at that sushi thing, we were expecting a pump from the Asians leading into the Asian Open. And look at this absolute banger here. We got sushi at 2.8. Okay, absolute top here of sushi for the short. And now it is printing at the moment. So that was one of the bangers there. And guys, this isn't luck. Okay, this is properly planned out trades, doing your homework, like Ray says. Okay, he says, do your homework. This is it. Okay, and that stuff is going down in the chart hackers for you guys on a regular basis. So if you caught that sushi short with us, what an absolute banger. Now, David caught a massive size there. I only got a $10,000 position, but this thing is already $1,800 up, okay? So let's take a look at the sushi chart. Let's see if we are at a TP zone. And you can see, yes, here we are, okay? TP zone there for sushi. That is our 236 bullish fib. Can it bounce here? Yes. Can it dip lower? Yes. These are all on the table now. So if you have made a bit of money on the sushi short, this is really, typically what you're going to be looking at. So we're going to bank this one here. We're going to close that. Okay, we're going to bank the handbag. Okay, done. Handbag locked and loaded there. Wife's going to be happy. And a simple little short opportunity there for us. Now, a couple of other trades that are going on at the moment. Here is Injective. We've taken this one off the hot zone that I dropped in the hackers chat earlier today, and this thing is flat. So there's a possibility that this thing starts moving higher. So if you want to trade Injective with me, the stop loss is 29.85 at the moment. But naturally, guys, look out for stop hunts. Look out for a little sweat lower. You might have to re-enter again if they come for a little stop hunt. So 29.85 is my current stop there on Injective. Then a couple of other things. Banana, no changes there. I've just added a little bit to that position. Then 𝗬𝗎. Okay, hopefully tons of you guys got 𝗬𝗎. All I did was buy it off the hot zone that I gave you on Friday, that I gave you on Sunday, that I gave you on Thursday. Okay, and here it is. Look at that absolute buy there off our hot zone. So 𝗬𝗎 is now starting to print for us. Nice little banger there, and good to see that one moving. Litecoin still sitting in the short. ENS still short there. No reason to close that one. Peppy, what an absolute banger. Look at this thing. Now this thing is really starting to print for us here at the moment. So that is looking good. And then I'm sweating bullets on this Celestia. Ray, I actually don't know what to do. Can you tell me why I'm trading Celestia? Can somebody please help me?
I don't know why you're trading it. I don't know why. How are you there? How did you go down that street? That's like a dark alley.
I feel disgusting. I think somebody needs to own up. Why am I trading Celestia?
Probably because I told you to a few weeks back, right? Yeah, we made money from this thing.
Dark alley with chaos.
We've made money from this thing. Come on.
He's a banger. Okay, and look, to be fair, Celestia was actually up. Okay, it was actually up. Look, you can see we were pumping a little bit there, and I actually let it get away from me there for a second. So hopefully we're going to get some kind of Celestia bounce. But under pressure there on that current Celestia situation. Okay, so that is my current situation at the moment. And there's my Bitcoin short. I think we need to close this one. So there's Bitcoin short at the moment. Okay, and we are now on our hot zone here. So this was a Bitcoin short into our hot zone on, when was that? On Sunday. Okay, so just a reminder, that was a short into that zone there on Saturday. Okay, and all we did was push back up. I've added to that a couple of times here. So we're going to close this Bitcoin short at the moment, and in case there is a bounce. So I'm going to close that one, lock in the handbag, bang. Okay, another handbag delivered. That's 2 handbags in a day. It's cooking. It's cooking. Okay, so guys, that is the sushi plan. If you are looking for longs on sushi, my high conviction zone is 1.92. Okay, sushi traders, 1.92. That is the high conviction long zone that you can watch. Remember, there was news on sushi. That's what gave it the pump. Now it needs time to reset. It needs time to settle down a little bit there. So 1.92 for me on sushi looks pretty good. And then let's talk Pepe and Chaos. So, I mean, you've got a couple of things for us. You've got Brett. You've got Phantom.
Yeah. IMX.
What else?
IMX. Doge with.
Doge with. Nice. Okay, so guys, there's some proper stuff coming in here. He keeps trying to trade Dot and Atom, but I keep banning him.
It's where the money is.
He keeps bringing the old shit coins. But if you want it, let us know in the chats. He'll bring you Atom and Dot. I mean, he's killing it on them. I just don't like those old shit coins on the show. But guys, let me know in the chats if you want it. He'll bring it for you. Okay, so let us know. We're watching the chats there, Ray. Keep watching. And Bird in the Bush says, Celestia bouncing soon, though. Fuck, bro. Please can it bounce? I'm really under pressure there at the moment on that Celestia. Okay, let's go. Let's talk Pepe. So, again, new high. So we're showing extreme strength at the moment. And those of you that were watching the show yesterday, look at this dip that we got on Pepe. Look at this beautiful into the 382 into the VWAP from the lows. Nice little move, front running that area just a touch. But look at that rocket. And again, a lesson for you guys here. Absolute rockets of these types of hot zones here, and well worth the effort trying to figure them out, trying to put them in play. And that number for me, multiple zeros, 2-4, that is going to be your support on Pepe now going forward. You can see we have a clear range in play here. If we do dip lower, just looking for that type of thing on Pepe. If we start breaking higher, well, guys, we know the drill. Our target is 31. That is our initial target for Pepe. And then we do have another one higher up, 39 is what we're looking at for Pepe. So long may this last. Nice to see it's trying to break all-time highs again. If we do get a little bit of energy here, again, we might get a retest back in the range before they send it higher. But for me, Pepe locked and loaded. No reason to close yet. This is showing phenomenal strength in the market there. So big support, 24. That's it for now on Pepe. That is all you need. And then Sol looking a little bit tired. Now, finally moving into our big zone. Now, are we going to see this? Again, it remains to be seen if we're going to see 200 out of Sol, or are we going to see 190? But the levels are there on the weekly, and we can understand that. We can see our oscillator is starting to turn over here at the moment. So it could be time that we drift into this 200 region on Sol. And then DGen levels, you can see Chaos. In fact, I could use you right here. Can you pull out some of your magic there? Because what I'm seeing here on Sol on the 4 hour is a potential bottoming out on the oscillator, moving into a VWAP, a 382, a horizontal, basically a hot zone here. Do you have any clues for us here? And I know NZ Danny is saying Sol needs to go to 200. Okay, so we're getting sent to zero, basically. Yeah. What are you seeing there on your side?
So 4 hour, yeah?
Let's go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Solana. Let's have a look. Haven't actually charted this one today. However, that trend is well out of play. Let's have a look. So obviously, first and foremost, on the chart prime indicator, we've got this lovely quantum reactor. It's still green. Now, what can happen is we can kind of punch through this, but reclaim. Punch through it, reclaim. So what we're looking for now is essentially whether we're going to punch through this and actually reclaim. Now, look at this. I mean, that is beautiful. That's absolutely bottomed out at like minus 120. We've got here an over... Hang on 1 second. Let me just bring up the cross. There we go. We've got an oversold marker just there. What we're essentially looking for now is the old green triangle reversal to come somewhere here. And then we get our next move. I'd like to see a nice reclaim, man.
Okay, so yeah, I think guys, cautiously long here on Sol until we get confirmation on this oscillator. You can see it showing signs. Sometimes we like to see divergence, or we want to see that green print there. You've got a little green print there.
This is good. This is good, bro. This is the 3 hour. You see this cash flow, okay?
Yeah.
We've been negative. Look at that. We've just gone positive. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Look at the last time it went positive here. Look what happened. We got that, right?
Okay. So
this looks good.
So tentatively bullish on Sol there, guys. Okay, so let's just confirm this level here. If you want to look at a potential Sol bounce here, I just want to give you all the levels that you can play with. So, if the show ends and then there is a little bit more downside in the market, we know what we can get. We know that sometimes we have to wait for divergence on these oscillators. You can see a lot of the time we get these divergences start playing out here. So we could have a situation where we have to print a higher low, but Sol still prints a lower low over there. Okay, so we might have that situation play out. Let's not discount that. Okay, so let's not ape full max long here on Sol, knowing that there is a level quite close lower down. So what I want to give you guys for the bounce on Sol, we're either looking at here 220, or alternatively, we know we do have this wick in play here for us, and we know these wicks like to get revisited, these wicks like to get looked at, and then we also have our 50-day moving average just bringing up a little bit over here. So I would just want to point out this region as a whole. If there is weakness in Sol, you need to look for your next zone, and your next zone is going to be this box in this type of area here for me. Now, I can't give an exact number because it is quite a broad region, but for me, it's 216 down to about 209 for Sol. So if this region doesn't hold, okay, let's say for some reason it starts turning over, that is where I'm looking for that divergence on the oscillator, and that is where then I expect quite a big push on Sol. I'm expecting then a 4-hour nice move on the oscillator, and that should give us, it doesn't have to give us new highs, but it can give us something like you've seen over here, which could be a nice long on Sol. So just look out for those zones. 220 where we are now. If there is more weakness later, be ready. 216 to 209, looking for something in that zone. That could be your banger that you're going to be watching. And motivational quote says, move is going to cross $5. Now, guys, we're going to look at this move token this week. Okay, we're going to see what is going on. We're going to start charting this thing and we're going to get our heads around this and see how we can play it. We've seen a lot of these other tokens start ripping after these big announcements and things. So, we're going to make sure we are tracking that one for you guys. CRG giving us the altcoin funding rate heat map, and he's saying funding cooling down nicely. Now, this was after obviously this weekend. This was earlier today after that big flush out. And he's saying we are back to the start of December levels. Now, if you want to track a funding rate heat map, you can do it. It is on CoinGlass, okay? And what I've done is I've zoomed into the 1 week, and you can see, you can grab this one on the CoinGlass browser, and you can see we were pretty hot from the 5th to even this weekend on the 7th. And then we had a beautiful flush out here, and now we are clean. Nice clean slate for us again to really start firing up the leverage according to the DGen chart over here. So this thing is now light green for us, looking a lot healthier at the moment. Okay, let's get into some of these setups and some of these trades and things that are going on. So here is my WEX situation. And this morning on Chart Hackers, we went long on WIF, and we went long on Doge. And yesterday on the Zoom session, we started playing with a Hippo setup as well. So Hippo, I think that's, where's Hippo? Sui. The Sui thing.
Not
Sui
sure.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's a player. Then ADA short, no changes there. Rune short, no changes there. And then Myro, full fucking round trip on Myro. So this is where we need the bounce now. Myro is in our zone. Myro is in the zone we need to bounce. I mean, this thing was a tough...
Wait. Yo. Hold on. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. Are you guys smashing the likes?
Treat
and
the
then,
like button like
and
Michael
then,
Jackson.
let's just follow the rules, right? Step 1, watch the show daily. Step 2, practice risk management. And step 3, join the chart hackers and get your automation on. And join Simon and David in the back there and deal with his things.
Deal with the things. Okay, so guys, I mean, that one trade, that sushi short last night would have paid for a whole year's membership for you guys. Okay, if you want to learn, come and hang out with us. Okay, so these are my WEX games at the moment. This is what's going on here. Let's talk a couple of things. And I remind you guys, I spoke about this yesterday. There's tons of offers on WEX. Okay, they are no KYC exchange. If you want to KYC, they're actually paying you to do it. Look at this. Your first deposit, they're giving you $100 if you've KYC'd. Okay, your first deposit, make your first deposit of 200 USDT to your spot account and get 100 USDT. Okay, you have to KYC for that stuff, but they're giving you tons of rewards to get on. They're trying to load up loads of new users. They're making it super attractive for you guys to jump on here, and you can see I'm using this as one of my preferred DGen exchanges. Okay, they let me do tons of things here with leverage. And I mean, for those of you that have been watching long enough, we've been rocking this thing for about a year now on WEX. Okay, let's talk some of the setups from earlier. One of the things I liked, and Chaos disagrees with me at the moment, was Doge on the 2 hour. Now, this was the reversal that I gave on Hackers earlier today, and it wasn't a banger, but it was off a 618 and a horizontal. So this 424 zone for me on Doge is our support zone, and this was the area of interest here for us, looking for that bounce. Now, what I was looking at was a 2 hour chart, and we did have a couple of signs that we were going to get some kind of reversal, but Chaos has pointed out that, look, if the market dips a little bit lower, there could be another level on Doge that we need to pay attention to. Now, obviously, if the market capitulates, none of these levels are going to hold, okay? But if we get a nice bullish drop on BTC, a little bit lower, where are we going, sir? Where do you want Doge?
I'll show you.
That would be pleasant.
There we go. I mean, I've drawn a nice circle for you.
There we go, in the circle.
Essentially, it doesn't get more simple than we hit this trend line 3 times. I'm kind of expecting that the quantum reactor will intersect with the trend line as we progress, and that in theory, we should get this dip and we'll get our entry just there. And that lines up perfectly with a reset here and the RSI to the moon.
So what is that circle? What is the number there?
Somewhere in the region of 40.5 to 41, I would have thought.
Okay, I concur. Okay, I concur with you. So just to reiterate here, guys, there's a couple of reversals you get. Okay, the most powerful reversals are going to be when that daily is fully reset, the 12 hour, the 8 hour, the 4 hour. Those are your absolute bangers. Then we get the short-term bounces where our 1 hour is reset, but the 4 hour, 8 hour, all these things want to come a little bit lower. One of the best combinations that I love to look for is a 1 hour reset and a 4 hour reset. We know a 4 hour reset gives us decent sized moves. So that is what we like to hunt for. The 1 hour, it's like playing games. The 4 hour, they give you something. Okay, they give you handbags. That 4 hour. So, okay, Chaos likes the 4 hour at 408. Okay, or 41, give or take. Yeah. So typically, this is what it's going to look like. Let's just bang this in here. So if that current zone for Doge doesn't hold, there is a little bit of weakness. You can see there's our trend. That is what your next long is going to look like. And you want to attack the highs. You want to go visit that wick, because ultimately we expect them to come and take out some of these wicks here. So I expect once that 4 hour is reset, there's going to be a 15 to 18% move coming for you on Doge. Your entry will be 41, that type of region on Doge. Just mark that out, and that is going to be your level. So I'm going to actually put my alarm here. Just put an alarm, bang. Okay, so that is now teed up. Remember, you can set alarms on TradingView, nice and easy, and they actually give you a notification on your phone. Okay, let's talk Hippo. So this was one of DJ David's that he's been watching now for the last while, and he's been tracking this thing, and he's got a habit. He likes to find these exotics and these other things. You know, I'm trading Injective, AVAX, Phantom, Popcat, those types of things. Fuck me, this guy comes up with some of the strangest shit, but wow, they can pump when they do. So here is Hippo that we are watching at the moment. We spoke about this last night, and we got a couple of buys in. So we had our first buy in a little bit higher, and then we had preset buys a little bit lower down in that region, that 618 region. So now we've got a nice size position on this Hippo, and let's just highlight this box for you here. There we go. Nice box at 0.0146. Okay, so this is our zone of interest now, and for me, it's starting to look interesting on the 4 hour. Look at this oscillator here at the lows. Okay, starting to reverse, but what do we want to see? Now, there's a couple of clues here, and I want to just let everyone know, if you're jumping into this Hippo, there's a chance we're going to print a new low first before we get that reversal. So just look here. In this example, we printed the reversal, went up, then they dipped a new low, and then the oscillator started moving up. So there was that example here. Then this one was another good example. We got our reversal sign. What did they do? They dipped it lower, stop hunt, before they sent it up. Okay, so this could play out for us, obviously, that we dip lower one more time and they come for another stop hunt. So just look out, Hippo traders. Okay, just keep your eyes on that. Look out for a sneaky little stop hunt from these guys. But the real action is going to happen when this Hippo starts breaking trend. So ideally, what you want to see is get this momentum going. When we break this trend, then we adding to this position. Then we really going to start pressing on this guy. Right now, you can see it's been super quiet for, 3 weeks, just ranging. At some point, there's a big move coming. Is it going to be up? Is it going to be down? Look, that's anyone's guess, but we can see with the oscillator, it's potentially going to be to the upside, okay, on the 4 hour. And that is what I'm watching. So when we break that trend, we can really add to this thing. But your level that you want to watch and your key supports that you want to pay attention to on this hippo, let me just mark them out for you quickly. 1465 is your zone of interest. Then I'm going to give you some other levels here, okay? The lows, 1389, and then you've got under your 50-day MA and under that wick. So I would say 1258. So just look out for a sneaky move down into these zones. Okay, look out for that. Okay, if they do come play games here, look out for that sneaky move. Okay, so we're trying to build a nice size position here. It's a low leverage play. Don't mind if there is a little bit more downside. Obviously, if they're coming into these regions, then they're going to absolutely end us. Okay, so just be careful here. Those are your big levels that you need to watch. There's your reversal sign. Keep your eyes on that. And who's talking about the background music being nerve-wracking? Come on, guys. What do you mean? It's the absolute fucking best. Amir, come on, bro. It gives us, it's our trading music. And crypto wealth, TA on shitcoins is fascinating. Bro, TA is fascinating. Shitcoins are fascinating. You gel them together and you have the best time of your life, okay? Especially when these things are cooking. I mean, this is what we like to do here. And I see NZ Danny talking about hippo traders. Come on, this fucking hippo. This hippo must move. It must move for us. Okay, let's talk WIF. And I need Chaos's help here. So earlier today, we picked up a 1 hour and a 2 hour. I think it was the 2 hour reversal on WIF. Okay, so I dropped that one in Hackers and we got our entries there. We got that little initial reversal. But now, obviously, I have my concerns. Chaos. Okay, my 4 hours, not quite there. And I just want to see what you are looking at. I know 1 hour looks okay. Can you tell me where we are, please? Sir?
Sure can.
That looks interesting.
There's a quantum reactor in play for a start. Often, not always, often it breaks through and punches up, but often we get a rebound actually off it. So what I find interesting is this isn't just a straight drop. This is actually angling off, okay? And obviously we get the angle, we get the push. So it doesn't mean it needs to come all the way down to oversold territory. It can literally reverse here, as it's done here, and go for it again. You know, it doesn't have to come all the way down. You know, some things remain overbought or oversold for some time. As you said before, the 2 hour, the 3 hour, both of them, they've made the turn on the RSI. But I'm really interested in the 4 hour, especially where we've got a longer term quantum reactor in play. And we might potentially bounce off this thing. So, you know, what we're looking for now is one of these, but down here, you know, or a reversal, up reversal arrow and the push up. So we're at an interesting spot right now. We don't really want to come below here.
We agree. I think we agree we are close to a reversal, but there is chance there's one more flush. There's one more sellout on the market. So just be aware of that. Okay, you got to understand that scenario. I mean, and I'm speaking to the degens. I'm talking to the high leverage traders. Okay, I know you guys there, and I know what you're trying to do. Okay, so again, if you're buying spot, okay, there's Ray.
a little off topic, but we got a blue dot on the 21-minute for Bitcoin.
Oh, to go up.
To go up.
Okay, let's see how we're going here, guys. Okay, there's a blue dot on the 21-minute on BTC. Are you saying I must add here, bro?
I'm just letting you know that there's a blue dot. I'm just.
Did you just tell me to add?
Sir.
Hey, I can't believe you just made me add.
I heard that.
I heard you literally said add to your lot.
He did. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you process it, sir, which is the right way to process it.
Hey, you just told me to add, bro. I'm adding. Okay, let's go. Chelsea's upset. Okay, Chelsea says should be better background music. Chelsea, what do you want? What you tell me in the chats what you want to hear in the background music. Now, I must tell you, DJ Dave is our resident DJ trader, but he's also a DJ. Okay, and you can actually find him on SoundCloud, and he mixed this specially for me. And when we do our trading sessions, we listen to his music. But you tell us what you want, and we can help you. Okay, let me know what you want, and maybe we can mix something for you. Make money, travel, enjoy. Yes, ma'am. She's 15x long on WIF. And let's talk WIF. Let's just make sure we all agree on the correct levels here on WIF. So why was this interesting to me earlier today? Well, obviously, number one, we had a monster sell-off on WIF. So that was obviously one of the signs here that the market was sweating and we were looking at some kind of short-term reversal. So we know we had a 17% move off whiff from the weekend. Okay, so that was a banger long. Okay, hopefully some of you guys closed it here at the hot zone, 3.9. That was our danger zone. Now we drifted lower. And what did we hit? Okay, we hit our VWAP here. We hit our 618. And I mean, these VWAPs are very nice. Okay, look at that little reaction there for us off that zone. So as we know, we can potentially go lower. So we just want to mark these levels out again. And if we are going to dip lower, there's a couple of key zones now. And I don't particularly want to see this, but this is going to be our home base. Okay, the 2.9, that's our home base level. That's the big one here to the downside. So if we get some kind of hard dump now out of BTC, 2.9 is a pretty much safe zone considering where we are currently with the oscillator. Okay, by the time we get there, this thing will be properly bottoming out. Okay, this thing will be at extreme lows there. So 2.9 is going to be your safest zone for whiff. Now, if we sweat out a little bit more today, what are we looking at? In a perfect world, some kind of double bottom here, something like that. Back at 3.33, or alternatively, you're probably going to hunt that 786. So let's just mark that 786 for you guys. And we just want to know where that is. So 3.15. Okay, so look out. If there is weakness today, one little wick into that zone, 3.15. That could be a sneaky little zone for you there on whiff. And what do we want to see? We want to see a nice push up. Now, we understand the dailies are turning lower. We understand we might only get short-term bounces. So what does that tell us? Well, we could have a situation where we only just print, a lower high before we come back down into those types of zones. So just look out. What I want to say is don't get too greedy on some of these trades here. Let's if you're taking a couple of trades here today at the moment, make sure you are TPing on some of them when you get a nice move. Okay, you don't want a situation where you round trip all of your trades. I mean, look at me with Celestia. That thing pumped and now I'm in a fucking hole. Okay, so make sure you take profit on some of them. Keep one or two open that you want to add to in case the market runs away from us. Then you can add and grow those sizes. In between, take profits, bank some profits, get those handbags for the wives. Keep them happy because then they're going to be less upset with you when you're staring at your phone all day trying to trade. And ladies, I'm talking about the husbands too. Buy the husband something there, and they're not going to give you a hard time. Okay, so with you've got your downside levels here, upside targets. Let's keep it super simple. Okay, let's take our fibs from the highs to the lows, and let's just look where our 618 is. There you go, 3.75. So if you do get a pump, make sure you are de-risking or taking something off the table there, 3.75. Then you get your highs at 3.9, okay, that you can play with there on whiff. So watch those to the upside. That should sort you guys out. And then here is Myro. Now, this thing needs to bounce. Chaos, this thing has to bounce. Please, can you do something here? Do you have Myro?
Not yet. Give me a second.
Okay, can you Myro some magic? Because, I mean, this thing was pain. Now, we are finally at a big zone here. Myro traders, 115. Look at that. I've got my 50-day moving average. I've got my 618. I've got my trend. I've got horizontals here. I've got a possible reversal here. I want to hear where the quantum reactors are. I want to hear where all the funny gadgets are. And can you tell me what is next here, please?
Yeah, sure. I've got it now. Obviously, I hadn't looked at this one yet today, so it's a bit last second. If you can,
did I put you on the spot there?
Bring me up? Nah, that's all right. You can put me on the spot, sir. Okay. So, just taking a quick look at where we are. Hold on, let me just kill this for 1 second. Okay. So listen, we're at a really heavy resistance and support zone, if nothing else. Right, 1 sec. Quantum reactor is green. It's always a good sign. What I would be slightly cautious of, though, is that it's not angled up yet. So we've got a very nice retracement on here, the RSI. Cash flow is quite positive. I'm going to say this isn't the safest one and it needs a little bit of time. My main concern is how flat this is. We've obviously had a push. We've had a pullback. We're in the zone. There has been a sell signal. Now, in a bullish market, do you want to short the market? Probably not, because you're not going to get very far. So this could well be the same again. I'm going to guess that we get some sort of ranging in here before our next move. This should play out. The cash flow is good. But to be honest with you, it's not the best one that we're going to show today, in my opinion.
A little bit disappointing for me because I've been holding this Myro for a very long time. So guys, I'm going to give you my trading plan on Myro. Okay, let me show you. Anyone who's trading Myro with me, I think you've come on this journey with me. And, you know, we're going to die together and we're going to win together. Okay, it's as simple as that. Myro, this is in a perfect world. We want to see this reversal on the 4 hour. Okay, so that thing could sweat a little bit more lower down for us. We need to understand that that could put Myro under a little bit of pressure. So look out for a dip or fake out below this trend. Okay, so look out for any moves, even a dip through that 50-day moving average. So I would say you can stretch this thing down to 112. Okay, 112, that sort of region at a push. If they want to really put us under pressure there, by then I want to see that reversal. If that zone fails, there's a good chance they're going to come and try and attack this wick. Look at this wick sitting here in that region. There's a very good chance they're going to come and clean out that liquidity down there. And that is why I've highlighted this next long zone for Myro. So that would be the next obvious area for me, 0.01. Okay, 0.01, that will be your next big Myro trade. So if this area fails, it's going to hurt. Okay, I watched this thing go to what, $4,500 up. We are now, and at one point it was minus what, 3,000. Then it was 4.5 up, looking for it to hold you. Okay, this is my ad zone where we are right here. Okay, so this is a potential long zone for Myro. If this region loses, if we lose this area, 0.1 is going to be your next long zone on Myro. And right now you've got 50-day MA support, you've got trend support, you've got 618, you've got a potential oscillator getting ready. Okay, but again, not guaranteed yet. It might still have to create some divergence there. So there might be a little bit more pain there for you guys. Syed says, I'm on spot with the TA. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And make money, travel, enjoy. She sold her Myro. Now I sold my whiff on the weekend and I kept my Myro. And now I'm thinking, fuck, I should have kept the whiff. Maybe switched it. But isn't that trader's life? Okay, that is how these things work. Okay, guys, let's talk Link. Where's the Link army? Okay, now we know stuff's going down with Link at the moment. There's always news on it. Chainlink currently averaging 8,200 daily active addresses. Okay, a remarkable 142% growth compared to 1 month ago. We know there's things happening on Link. And a reminder from Zach, he says, Chainlink doesn't compete with blockchains. Chainlink's neutrality makes it the perfect position to connect global capital markets to the on-chain money. It's the glue between traditional finance and DeFi. And I just want to raise this again because we know Link is a bit of a pumper and it's got a massive community. We know the guys love their Link. And we had a couple of good trades on Link on Friday and this weekend. And now it's time to pay attention. So I've got Chaos to look at some Link for us. But my basic assessment here at the moment is we can see Link has rejected major weeklies. Okay, we know that. Major resistance for us, 28 to 30 is a big resistance zone for Link. And if you are looking for buys on Link, DCA buys, guys, anybody looking for a Link position, 22.6, 19.8, those are your hot zones. 22.6, 19.8, these are DCA zones. This is where you want to accumulate. So if you were ready to buy Link this weekend at 27, best be ready at 22.6, 19.8, and even at a stretch, 17.6. So these are your DCA zones for Link. And I'm keen to hear Chaos's view on the lower time frame. I want to hear 4 hour, 2 hour, those types of things. And there's your chart.
Yeah, I've got the 2 hour for you. Can I just say one thing before I talk about this? All of the guys in Chart Hackers have seen all these charts. I checked the logs today. We've posted 43 charts today, excluding what's in Traders Chat. I just went through the logs of all of our channels. So and before we came on the show today, I took all of these URLs and dropped them all in the Discord. So these guys have all got the jump. So I just want to say that for everyone that's watching, you guys know what I'm going to say because you've seen all of these. So well done. Okay, cool. Here we go. So the thing with Link, right, is on all three of the time frames, the 2 hour, the 3 hour, and the 4 hour. Just wait for this to load. Hang on. The RSIs, essentially, they've potentially still got a way to go. Now, even though I said before, they don't always have to come down. They do still need to angle off. You can't just go from down to up. Okay, so there's still a very straight line to the downside. The cash flow is also quite negative still. So what really I'm looking at, if I'm honest with you, and I've highlighted this zone, I think you said about 22. I've got the same sort of entry here, but the thing that kind of slightly bothers me, even though we've got a green quantum reactor, it may well react off the reactor. The thing that concerns me slightly is we've got some imbalance candles here where this thing just shot up. So if it breaks to this level here, let's just get rid of that for 1 second. There we go. If we essentially break below this wick, we're going to just lose that quite quickly because these are all areas of imbalances. So realistically, I think the area around $20 is probably more achievable. If we lose 22.5, I think we're going straight down to 20. So this is my line in the sand.
Okay, so I mean, look, it pretty much ties in with what we're looking at. I want to give you guys a long here on link. I want to give you this link potential long. So this is basically taking us back to where we were on Friday. This was Friday when we were trading that breakout. So you guys were watching my show on Friday. We got that breakout play. Then we got the short play there on link. Now it looks like we're dripping all the way down. So realistically, that 22 that Chaos is talking about is one of our first hot zones there. Okay, that 22.6. That's a banger. Okay, so look for a long in that region. Look for that dip there, about 22, just above 22 on link. And now, obviously, if it starts failing and goes to Chaos's next zone, that ties in so nicely with our higher time frame weekly levels. Look at this. We got tons of weekly levels here. We've got our macro 382 pull at 19.8. So absolute bangers here for link, guys. If you were looking for an opportunity, you feel like you missed the pump, these are your options now. These are the bangers: 22.6, 19.8, and 17.6. These are your zones, guys. This is the ones you've been waiting for. Remember, it's easy to want to buy when the market's ripping and it's green and you get euphoric, but it's harder to buy when it's red. But that's why you got to trust these big zones, trust the areas, and obviously trust the process. Now, if you're buying spot, it's a lot easier. If you're buying low margin, like 3x margin, it's obviously a lot easier. If you're buying high leverage, well, then you got to watch the degen setups that we give you guys. And, that's a typical degen setup that I would look for. So look for a tight stop there, probably 2 or 3% at around this 22.5 zone, somewhere in that region. You're looking for a reaction there. They'll clean out some of this wick as well. And you can see there's our VWAP support that you guys can watch. Okay, so link, that is that sorted there for you guys. Then I wanted to deal with 𝗬𝗓. Now, this could be an opportunity for us to get some 𝗬𝗓. Now, this thing's been an absolute ripper. And, quite often when we've looked at this chart, it keeps pumping. So we always miss these degen leverage trade entries for 𝗬𝗓. And Hitesh is just talking about why 𝗬𝗓 is so amazing. I'm not going to read the whole speech to you, but you can follow this guy, 𝗬𝗓𝗟𝗡𝗏9. Okay, it's Hitesh.eth. And he's explaining why 𝗬𝗓 is undervalued compared to the banks. And he's giving you a whole case as to why it's such a banger. And Token Terminal says, in case you missed it, both net deposits and active loans on 𝗬𝗓 are at all-time highs. Okay, all-time highs already, And we've only just started this current move. And so anyone trading 𝗬𝗓, the spot guys, you guys are cooking. Okay, we are still on track for 400. That's our target. 400, 460. That is what we're looking at. But how do we help the degens here? And how do we get some banger entries if you missed the first zone? So just my thought here on the weekly on 𝗬𝗓 and my current take as to where we are. Big zone, 244. Okay, that's a banger zone there. 244, a little bit lower down, 211. So if this market is going to melt down now and we're going to get more downside, you're just looking for this journey down. 244, 211. Those are your buy zones. That's where the action is for you guys. And that is what I'd be looking at. Now, Chaos, can you help us with reversal? And some action.
I gave 𝗬𝗓 this morning in the Discord.
Someone's mom loves 𝗬𝗓.
I gave the call this morning, bro. They got the chart first thing this morning. Yeah.
Well, mom loves 𝗬𝗓. Okay, let's see.
Let's do it. Let's do it for mum then. So 𝗬𝗓.
Okay, this is for you, mom.
This is for you, mum. So look, check this out. The quantum reactor has started to turn up. That's a really good sign. What we want to see is we want to lose all of this flat movement, okay? And we want this thing to upturn and slowly make its way up, because with it will come the parabola. We've got the RSI speaks for itself. This is on the 3 hour. At this time, the only thing I can give you as a support level that makes sense is kind of where we just bounced from. After that, we're down a little bit lower, but to be honest with you, the RSI looks good. The quantum looks good. This looks like a nice trade. I gave it this morning and we are up. So
did you catch the long of 260?
I caught the long. It wasn't quite 260. It was about 265 or 266. But we're moving.
You sneaky man, because I was watching this and I actually missed it. It would have been nice if you told me.
I think I tagged you.
It's a banger.
Yeah,
so here's the DGen play, guys. And okay, well, it's nice to see we singing from the same hymn sheet here. So the guys already got in on Aave. So that's nice. Okay, so DGen, guys. Okay, let's just take a look again. What do? We zoom out. 244, we know that's our first major zone there, our first big level, then 211. But what do we do as DGens if we suspect we could get some kind of reversal? Well, you saw what Chaos just did there, and we can see where's our 244. Our 244 is down here. So we know if there is more weakness later in the market, we can get ready with our orders because we know that these zones typically give us a bounce. Okay, even if we're part of a downtrend, we know these big zones give us our bang for buck. They give us our bigger reaction. So if it doesn't hold here, you can see they nailed this trade here, 262 or whatever it was off a 618. Strong bounce there. If there is more weakness today, you're going to just watch that 260 again as support. If you lose that, be ready. Okay, be ready to roll. So if there's a crazy meltdown in the market, look out. 244 is where it's at for me. That ties in with your big weekly level, and that ties in with these levels on the 1 hour chart as well. Look at that. Lots of confluence here for us on these horizontals. So nice little zone there, 244. Watch that. That is your trade, and set your alarms. Now, guys, I just wanted to update you on Crossfire. They've now launched their card. Okay, so believe it or not, you can now swipe your card and you connect your wallet to the card. So they've basically turned your wallet that you have. You just link it to the card, and you can go and spend your stuff on Crossfire. So now we've been tracking this token for the last while, and again, I'm still waiting. We know every time Crossfire hits these lows, there's 100% trade, okay, based on what we've seen here. So every time we do move into these range lows here on Crossfire, we get these nice pushes up. Okay, never mind that one. Okay, that was a massive wick there on that guy, so look out for that. But for me, range lows on Crossfire, if you get the buy down here at 0.61, okay, that's a potential spot trade there to 100%. So we're looking at 1.28, those types of regions. Look there, you can see there's big rejections when we hit those zones. So if we do get this dip on Crossfire into that zone, just be patient, wait for it. That is, it looks like 100% trade pretty much every time it hits that region. Okay, so watching that one on Crossfire at the moment, you can see this daily is still trending lower. Give it a little bit of time. I'd say even a stink bid, something like that, you might want a limit order waiting down here for you at 0.61. Maybe just picks that up on a quick wick. You can see these wicks to the downside are very quick here, and they get bought up pretty quickly here. You can see the last couple of times here. So look out there on Crossfire 61. You're going to sell this thing at 1.28, give or take. But obviously, if you're 50% up, take some profits. Don't hang on to this thing for dear life. If you are making good money out of it, you can ladder out as you go up. But your big one is 1.28, with that you're going to be watching there on Crossfire. Okay. Let's talk. Oh, and then guys, there's one more thing. Everything I talk about in the show here is in the description under the show document. So just go under the show here. You can see, you click on more, and then you can see all the things we're talking about. Chart Hackers is there, obviously. Prime XBT, where I'm currently about to get rinsed in my long. Okay, that is there for you. No KYC on that thing as well. No KYC on WeX. No KYC on ZoomX, guys. Don't forget ZoomX, one of my exchanges that I'm trading on at the moment. That guys as well, and there's lots going on. And don't forget, you can win a Bitcoin, guys. I keep forgetting to reiterate here. All you need to do to win a Bitcoin is to guess the price of Bitcoin. You sign up with one of the links in the description. So if you have Blowfin, or if you have BitGet or Bybit or CoinW or MEXC, just sign up to one of these links here in the description. Go into Banter Bubbles, click win a Bitcoin. Then you guess the price of Bitcoin on the 1st of January. And it's as simple as that. And if you get the price right, if you're the winner, you're going to win 0.5 BTC. That's like $50,000. But if you've taken 10 trades on your account and you get the price right, you're going to win a full Bitcoin. That's $100,000 for guessing the price of Bitcoin. It's a very simple game to play. Let's see what the live predictions are here. They're busy loading. Let's see if we get some fresh meat here. Let's see what the guys are saying. Okay, it's not loading. We'll look back. Okay, we'll look later. Okay, I just want to see what the guys are saying. Last week the guys were a little bit bearish. There was some guy calling like 74 or something like that. That was coming up. Okay, I've got Chaos to look at Phantom for us. Fuck me, Chaos. It's 58 minutes already. Okay, let's go fast. The Phantom, guys. You know Sonic is coming on Phantom. We're not gonna dwell too long. I want to give you limit orders quickly on the daily, and then I want Chaos to talk short-term reversals. So guys, limit order DCA zones on Phantom 1.19, 1.07, 0.87 DCA zones. These charts go straight into Chart Hackers straight after the show. Chaos, reversal stuff. What do you have?
I've literally got this here, 236, right where we are now. It also lines up perfectly with the trend line. Bounce zone number 1 for me. Bounce zone number 2 is probably this wick here, 1.17, and then finally support level 1.1.
Oh, in summary, you absolutely nailed that in 30 seconds. Wow, that's a proper fucking elevator pitch there. Okay, so guys, you got that. Okay, you got those levels. If you look at Chaos's chart, there's something interesting brewing there. If we get a hard bounce where it is now, even just a little wick lower, look out for that right shoulder on that head and shoulders there. That could be a little bit of a bearish sign there for us. Look out for that. Okay, that could send us to help. Okay, so watch that, Phantom traders. So your levels were 1.2,
where we are now, 1.2,
yeah.
1.175 or so, and finally 1.105.
Okay, you got that, guys. Straight into Chart Hackers, you'll find those charts there. Let's cover AVAX. I want to give you guys some AVAX degen zones as well, and some higher time frame DCA zones. If you liked AVAX at 54, you're gonna love it at 47.5. You're gonna adore it at 42.7. Okay, look at that beautiful zone here. AVAX traders, 42.7. Get your orders ready. 47.5, 42.7, and 38.8 for me on AVAX. Those are the bangers. Let's talk SUI quickly. And remember, guys, I gave you this entry last week. And remember the rules. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for these setups to play out. Sometimes you have to identify the chart on the show, and you might have to wait 3, 4, 5 days before you get your entry. So if the token is something that you like, make sure you mark it on your chart, you get prepped at home, and you're ready, because on the day when it hits the zone, I might not be showing that particular chart. So make sure you guys are prepped and ready. And just regarding SUI, I spoke about this thing, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even last night, and you can see we have now finally dipped into our first reaction zone. And you can see this is on the 2 hour, and we are getting some kind of reversal indication here on the 2 hour on SUI. So there could be something happening here for us on the short term. And then remember, always have your backup zone. If the market falls over, you need to be prepped. You need to understand where your next zone is. So these are typical reaction zones. We get reactions off them. We get nice moves. When you get that pump, you can de-risk pretty quickly if you want to, or alternatively, you can use these zones to build positions. If you want to build a position, if your bias is that it's going to bounce obviously before it loses big zones and things like that, then you can build those positions. Just do it on super low leverage and smaller positions, and let it come to you. And these hot zones for SUI, 3.91 and 3.55. These are your zones. So 3.91 has been hit. Okay, ping. If we do push higher and we rejected that trend, you most likely coming to 3.55. Okay, that is going to be your next area there of interest for you on SUI. Okay, so that one is that. And then with regards to GRT, so I'm still holding that GRT short. No reason to close yet. This is GRT on the 12 hour. Look at this oscillator. Finally, thank you so much. Finally coming down. And this thing, we're going to let this one bleed. So look, I reckon it's another day or two, and we get GRT down there on the 12 hour. And then we're going to have a monster reversal. So GRT traders, here are your levels. This is ready for you guys and coming in hot. Okay, so GRT 0.265. Wait for this guy. Look at this, 0.265. Let it come to you. We are nearly there. What does that look like? It could easily look like this before it gets to you. Okay, so 0.265. Let that one play out. If there is more weakness, I don't want to get it there, 213, but fuck me, we will get it there if they give us that. So 265, that's the big one for me on GRT that I'm watching. Then Brett, we talked about Brett. You had it.
Not yet. I don't think we have. We need to.
Okay, we need to talk about Brett. Show me Brett. Show me Brett.
Got Brett. Okay, so
okay, let's go.
Very, very simply, reset, cash flow good, perfect quantum reactor, green, in the zone. Absolutely perfect reaction zone. to be honest with you, I'd like to see a reaction like now. How's that? Sure enough for you?
Oh, okay. We're in the zone. Yeah. I mean, we're in big horizontals as well. Okay. Yeah, I agree. So even a little wick a little bit lower down, but you can see, I mean, it's so clean on this chart. And you've got your quantum reactor. So what are your big support levels there? Where can you see a wick?
If we lose 18.5, potentially we might take out this imbalance where it just shot off, which means after 18.5, we're talking 17.9, by which point the quantum reactor would have come up and we're likely to bounce off it. So it does tie in really nicely.
Okay. Okay, so you got those levels, guys. Let me just show you on my chart as well so you can just see what we're doing. There's a couple of things might be short-term bearish on my side as well. So I just want to show you the bigger picture chart. So you've just seen it on Chaos. That ties in beautifully. Look at this, 183. That's a banger. Okay, so that will take out the bulk of Chaos's candle, maybe a little bit lower to that VWAP. So call it 183 to 180. Okay, you agree? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Okay, so 183 to 180 looks good there on Brett. You know, that's bullish support. So that means Bitcoin needs to behave itself. Okay, very simply. And then lower time frame here. This is Brett on the 4 hour. So we've lost this. We've lost the rising trend. So this is potentially short-term bearish now. If we get a rejection here, then we are going to be looking to buy this thing lower down, and that takes us to that 180 zone again. Okay, so remember, if we do drift lower, 180, and then your big one is your horizontal. I really don't want to go there. Chaos. 153. Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there. 153 is where we at, and then you can see the oscillator also 4 hour almost. Almost.
The
Okay.
2 hour looks unbelievable. The 2 hour looks perfect on Brett. Really good. Literally the oscillators.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
I mean. Okay, so guys, you know what? We use these as a guide. As long as we're tying them into good levels there, we can get some moves. Injective, just want to show you this one quickly as well. This is Injective on the 4 hour. Okay, we are almost there. So if you can just hang on, it's literally, we are so close on Injective to getting some kind of reversal here, and we are just flirting around this area. So what is probably happening here is there's probably a lot of longs getting built here at the moment. So look out for a little flush, and then that reclaim and pump higher. But you can see on the 4 hour, we are close. Okay, look at that, very close to some kind of reversal there on Injective. So Injective traders watching 29.9, that's your anchored VWAP. Look how this thing has held a support. Occasionally, they do wick below it. So just look out for those wicks below that VWAP. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get something like that. Okay, so just watch that closely. If they put pressure on you later, look out. If they grab your stop, look out. Pay attention to the reaction there, and then you're looking for that sharp bounce. But we are very close there on the 4 hour. And let's see on the 1 hour, what do we have here on Injective? Okay, the 1 hour is not convincing. I mean, you can see this money flow is actually going bearish here. So we need that 4 hour to start delivering for us on Injective. Okay, Chaos, thank you, sir. Thanks for hanging.
See you later. Thank you.
Job well done. Okay, guys, you get the drill. Let's just confirm. Let's confirm these Bitcoin levels for you one more time. Remember, a lot of this market is going to be tied into Bitcoin behaving itself and reacting on some of these zones. So as long as we get a nice reaction from BTC, either here where we are sitting right now, this 97,600 zone, or for me, 96,300. These are the ones where I want a sharp reaction on Bitcoin. Okay, we don't want to see these alts bleed too hard. The longer Bitcoin floats around here and this dominance starts pushing higher, these alts are going to feel pressure. Okay, so what we do know, information that we do have, 1 hour pretty much oversold now earlier today. The 4 hour, they're getting close to heavily oversold levels. It doesn't mean we can't get one more wick down. It doesn't mean we can't get that bullish divergence playing out. And that sometimes comes with one more drop in the market. So if you are trading these alts on high leverage, remember what we're doing here. Daily's pointing down, 12 hour pointing down, lots of signs saying we're heading down. There is a short-term reversal, 1 hour, 4 hour that we might be able to take advantage of. Just watch your levels. Don't go max leverage. Okay, keep it safe, keep it civilized. Remember, when the daily resets, 12-hour resets, 8-hour resets, then we have the real banger moves. Okay, so it's coming soon. Hang in there. Okay, it's tomorrow I'm back again, same story. See you guys later.
Can we get a prompt?